Have you ever got involved in a really big argument with someone? What caused the argument and how did it end? Did you finally come to some sort of an agreement and make up? Hello everyone, I'm Kathleen Pelly. Welcome to Journey with Story. Today's episode is a folk tale from West Africa about the man in the moon and his wife who have a huge argument that grows and grows until it causes havoc on the earth below. Which one of them will decide to end the argument and come to some kind of agreement, I wonder? Let's find out. But first, mums and dads, if you want to get some colouring sheets for your listener, just go to www.journeywithstory.com and subscribe to our free monthly newsletter. We will be offering other freebies and goodies to our newsletter subscribers in the coming months, so go ahead, subscribe today. And please remember to take a moment, if you haven't already done so, to rate and review this podcast. Now, let's take a journey with the man in the moon. The man in the moon and his wife Atai ruled the sky when the sun disappeared and night replaced day. Atai was the most visible of all the stars that were scattered across the night sky. When the other stars took their positions around her, they marvelled at her brightness and commented that she was as brilliant as the moon. They also thought that she was more useful because ships and travellers on land could set their course by her position and that of the other stars. They thought that the moon was less useful as he only gave light to the earth below and travelled through the sky. When the man in the moon heard their views, he was jealous, as he had been in the sky long before ships were built and travellers roamed the lands. Then he became angry and decided that he would not shine at all, or even allow the stars to brighten the night sky. But he couldn't do this on his own. So he enlisted the help of rain, thunder, and lightning. The stars have become too proud, he told them. They think that they rule the night sky, and they deserve to be taught a lesson. Please, will you help me do this? After much persuasion, the moon won the cooperation of the elements. Thunder roared in the heavens. Streaks of lightning lit up the sky, and the rain pelted down onto the land. Darkness covered the land, and the rivers flooded, causing havoc on the earth. Trees, birds, and animals were swept away, and people sought refuge in caves and on mountain tops, experiencing great hardship, and they wondered what had happened to the weather. Many days went by. Because of the climate change, the people on Earth were without food, and they were cold because of the darkened skies and absence of the sun to warm them and make their crops grow. The man in the moon was not upset by what he saw happening down on the ground. He was pleased because his wife Atai and the stars could not shine, and he gloated over them. Meanwhile, Atai became angry as she watched the flooding continue. Although she could not shine, she was pleased with the fact that her husband couldn't give light either. But they were both frustrated because they could not do what they were created to do. Meanwhile, the elements were overjoyed because never before had they exerted such influence. But on the earth, man suffered as a result. Although people prayed, some blamed each other for what was happening, and they began arguing amongst themselves, creating conflict. When night blanketed the earth, the people in caves had to keep fires burning all night to chase away the wild animals that threatened them. Every night they could see the luminous eyes of lions, hyenas, and leopards lying in wait just beyond the firelight. Normally, these animals would not attack men, but their prey was becoming scarce and they were growing thin and desperate without food. After a time, the stars became very worried about the situation and pleaded with Atai to reconsider her position and reconcile with her husband. "It is important to have harmony between the moon and the stars," they said. Then they suggested that when the moon was full and at its most brilliant, they could be less prominent and stay in the background. Then, when the moon was less prominent, the stars could shine brightly, having the sky to themselves, and the moon could be in the background. "Please do something, Atai," they pleaded. "If the elements persist, there will be no light on the earth, and perhaps no earth." But Atai did not take much interest in their proposals, and she was not prepared to do anything about it herself. She did, however, allow them to go to the man in the moon and try to make peace on her behalf. The man in the moon welcomed the stars, as he too had become unhappy with the situation. He was no longer in charge of the night sky, and he no longer had a wife. Although he pretended to show little interest in their suggestions, he said, "I'm pleased you have come to visit me. I am definitely the ruler of the night sky, but I do not want this argument to continue." The stars listened carefully to him as he continued. "I am willing to remain in the background, but I have responsibilities to the earth, as it needs my light. If this argument continues, the earth will suffer even more." "Well, that's unselfish of you," replied the stars. And at last, an agreement was reached with the moon. But a problem arose with the elements. They were not eager to give up control of the sky, but eventually an arrangement was made between the three of them. At times the moon would shine and the stars would fade into the background. When the moon shone less intensely, the stars would shine brightly, advancing to the foreground. But there would also be a time when there would be darkness, so that the rain and the storms could reign. Eventually, having settled their differences, the man in the moon and his wife became friends once again, and they have remained close ever since. Some people on the earth love to see a full moon riding the night sky. Others love the brilliance of the stars, especially sailors who navigate by the position of the stars. As for the elements, people prefer gentle rain. They are dismayed when storms and flooding sweep across the land, People and their animals are frightened by the sound of thunder and lightning. But man has come to accept all weather conditions, as they all are necessary for the benefit of the earth. So, what do you think this story's souvenir is? The nugget of truth about what it means to be human and live in this world? Yes, I think it has to have something to do with sometimes we will have to set aside our own pride and our own needs in order to make peace for the good of others. I wonder, can you think of any way you might be one of these peacemakers at home, at school, or in your neighbourhood this week? This would make a good discussion question over dinner with your friends and your family. Mums and dads, if you are enjoying this podcast, please take a moment to share it with a friend or a teacher or a neighbour who also might enjoy it. Thanks ever so much. Cheerio then. Join me next time for Journey with Story. Music and post-production was by Colette Jonas.